I turn right now to one of the best ever to do what he does, and which is beat the crap out of people in an octagon. Am I lying? You tell me.
You're not lying. He's one of the best ever.
UFC 239, John Jones is taking on Thiago Santos, who, again, according to the UFC press release, is provided to me by Rich Eisen show researcher El Zuro. He's a Brazilian knockout artist, which, again, I would love to just be 10 seconds of my life on the planet. I'd even say just for 10 seconds to be called that and then submitted, I would do it.
Just introed as...
Yeah, and then an immediate submission.
Yeah, okay.
Certainly if I'm in the octagon with John Bones Jones joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, John?
Man, I'm a black guy, and I know you can't see me, but I'm over here blushing right now. You guys calling me the best ever and everything.
John, just look at your resume.
And I'm blushing now.
Again, this is the first time we've ever chatted. So unless we met before and I don't remember meeting, the UFC light heavyweight champion. But you don't strike me as a modest individual every now and then, John, right?
I feel like I am. My job is to be an entertainer, man. People want to hear you talk crap. People want to hear a champion, an undefeated champion, sound confident, and so it's a big part of my job. But
right.
Man, if you got to know me, man, I'm a teddy bear, man. I'm always with my close friends, my daughters, my dogs. Fairly simple, man. Okay,
so let's, before we get to the father dog lover part, let's get to the crap talker part and give the people what they want, John Jones. When you think of Thiago Santos, what do you say?
No, to be dead honest, I have nothing but respect for the guy, man. It's hard to talk crap about such a respectable man. Thiago Santos, Mahenta standing for, it means hammer in Portuguese. They call him the hammer. Thiago is, he's a really respectable dude, man. He's a single father who's taking care of his kids. He's from the worst area in Brazil, and he made it out of there. He became, and now he has a foundation right there in that area that's like a boys and girls club. So, he served in the Brazilian military. He's a stand-up dude, man. He's a Christian dude, man. I got nothing but respect for him. But unfortunately, he's my opponent. He's won his last 4 fights, last 3 being by knockout. The guy's a black belt in Muay Thai. He's a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, and he's a game opponent. I think a lot of Brazilians are flying to Las Vegas this Saturday night to watch him beat me. And man, I'm so excited about this challenge, man. This guy is one of the scariest guys I've fought in a very long time, and I think it's going to be just a hell of a fight to witness.
That's Saturday, coming up Saturday, July 6th, T-Mobile Arena, UFC 239. What about Daniel Cormier? What do you think of when his name gets mentioned?
Oh, Daniel Cormier, man. Daniel Cormier is our current heavyweight champion of the world. He moved up to the heavyweight division because he lost to me twice at the light heavyweight division. I think he's a great ambassador for mixed martial arts, man. He's a stand-up guy. He's always in a suit. He speaks very well. I think a lot of people look at cage fighters as like these barbaric, crazy, tattooed up, just wild boys, and really, there's a lot of men, a lot of gentlemen, a lot of college-educated men in the UFC, and Daniel's one of them. I'm grateful that he's our heavyweight champion, and if he ever wants a rematch against me, he can come back down to the light heavyweight division and lose again.
So you won't go up to him. You won't go up to the heavyweight. You think about doing that?
No, I won't. So I was the youngest champion in UFC history, and I still hold that record. At age 23, I won my first title, and I've won about 14 world titles since then. And I've had the opportunity to go up to heavyweight and challenge many heavyweight champions over the years, and I never took the opportunity. And now a lot of people really want to see me bump up and challenge Daniel Cormier, a guy that I've defeated twice. And I don't really know why him, out of all the champions at heavyweight that there's been, that everyone wants to see me fight him at heavyweight. I beat the guy twice, the first time by unanimous decision and the second time by knockout. So I feel like I have nothing to prove. And and things are going really good at the light heavyweight division. They say if it's not broke, don't fix it. So
Well, I mean,
I think I'll be a light heavyweight for a little while.
I hear you, John. A lot of John Jones here on the Rich Eisen Show. There are some who may say, by the way, which is a way of somebody in my savvy position of saying something that I'm not going to take ownership of, but just say other people are saying. That you've run out of people to fight in the light heavyweight division. Like, what else is there for you to do in that weight class, John?
Man, I think I've been hearing that a lot lately, and I think it's an insult to all the guys that are still at the light heavyweight division. There's a lot of young men that are coming up that I haven't faced yet. And they're young, they're hungry, they're ambitious. They have a dream of having their life changed by winning a world title. And I'm the goal for a lot of these guys. I have a big target on my back, and to just leave the division when I'm small enough to make the division, I think it's doing all of the young dreamers an injustice. I think I need to give them their chance to at least compete against me. And quite frankly, get their ass kicked.
What about the idea of maybe going into the square in the same way that Conor McGregor did it? John, obviously didn't work out for him, and a lot
boxing.
of yeah. Have you ever think about doing something like
boxing
that?
Ring?
Yeah.
Man, I'm a realist, man. I'm a real guy for the most part, man. And I've spent my years. I grew up wrestling, and it helped me transition into be a really good mixed martial arts fighter only because I can slam a guy to the ground if he's hitting me too hard with his fist. And in the boxing ring, you got to stand there and take those punches. And if you get knocked down, you got to get that 10 count and stand back up. And I don't know, man. I don't think it's for me, man. I'd rather be able to use all my talents and kick a guy and wrestle a guy and choke a guy. Than just to sit there and take a whole bunch of punches to the face. I just really appreciate, being a mixed martial arts fighter. And, dude, I don't want to get punched by Deontay Wilder or Andy Ruiz, man. These guys look like they hit really hard. So I'm just going to stay in my lane and keep choking people out.
John, that is a wise maneuver. We also had Tyson Fury in the seat right next to me about a month ago, and every time he stood up, he kept
Big
going.
guy, huh?
He kept going. It didn't stop every time he stood up. I mean, these are some serious people. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man, dude, yeah. I want no parts of Tyson Fury, none of these guys, man. I'm humble enough to know that where my lane is, and that's in the UFC.
Well, all that said, John Jones, you turned 32 in a couple weeks. How much longer do you plan to do this?
Yeah, so I turned 32 on July 19th, which is really exciting. I feel really young. A lot of the guys that are ranked top 10 in the world, they are in their upper 30s, and I'm still in my lower 30s. So, and I've been blessed to have never been knocked out in practice or in the octagon. So I feel like I have a strong, healthy brain, and my body's healthy, and I don't see why I'll stop anytime soon. I'm starting to get to a point in my career where everyone's lives around me is getting affected financially and things like that, and I love it, man. And I want to ride the wheels until the wheels fall off, man, and just change as many lives as I can.
So your older brother, Arthur, played for the Colts, Ravens, Redskins. Your younger brother is one of the best at his position in the profession right now for the Cardinals, formerly of the Patriots, in Chandler. John Jones, why did you never go for it in football like these guys did, your brothers?
Well, I tried to play football.
You did? Walk me through that.
Yeah, I did. I was never as good as they were when it came to football. I was always like third string. I was like 6'4", 170, and they had me on the defensive line. Opposed to my brother who's 6'4", 275, 280. And, I was just trying to keep up with those guys, and I wasn't. And I was third string, and my brothers were team captains, and they were always first string from the very beginning. And my wrestling coach, he pulled me to the side. He knew I was kind of a lost kid in high school, and he said, John, if you listen to me, and if you take this wrestling thing seriously, you do summer camp and you do the things I tell you to do, I promise you, man, I'll get you into college, and I'll help you find your niche. And I did. I focused my energy into the sport of wrestling, and it led me to a scholarship to wrestle in Iowa. And when I was done with school in Iowa, I found a jiu-jitsu school, which was a lot like wrestling. And I got really good at that pretty fast. And that guy encouraged me to try to become a full-fledged mixed martial arts fighter. And 9 months after my very first practice, I had signed a contract with the toughest organization to be a part of, being the UFC. And shortly after that, became the youngest champion in sports history. And I realized that, man, I found my calling in life.
And what position were you trying to play in football? Same, were you on defense?
I was a defensive end, but I was freaking terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Well, I
mean, a better water boy for sure.
Well, I mean, some of your best moves would definitely earn you a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. I would think if you tried any of your UFC octagon maneuvers on a football gridiron, that's 15 yards each time, I imagine.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. I'm always trying to, having 2 Super Bowl champion brothers, but I'm always trying to challenge myself against them when we're at barbecues or whenever we get the chance to be together. And they're like, "Nah, man, don't be kicking at me. Don't be punching at me. I don't play that game." Like, they don't want anything to do with the kicking and punching game.
Well, John, when you're in Los Angeles next, come on in. I'd love to have you here in studio.
Man, dude, I'd love to.
That would be great. I really would appreciate that.
We do a lot of media tours in L.A., and if you talk to one of the PR members, I'm sure they can set it up. I'd be honored to come in studio.
Oh, no, you bet. You're tight with Glaze, right? With Jay Glazer? Are you tight with Jay?
Oh, yeah, of course. Jay Glazer is the man.
Okay. Maybe I'll see you at Unbreakable Gym, because, I work out there too, John. That's where I'm the Jewish knockout artist.
I've never fought the Jewish Nightmare before. Let's get it.
It's coming, John. Just come on.
Jewish Nightmare. That's your new nickname.
Somebody's got to be called
Nightmare.
All right.
That's great.
All right, John.
Yeah, tell Jay I said hello when you see him.
I will. All right, John. I'll see you soon. Good luck.
Awesome.
Good luck this weekend.
Can I give myself a shameless Instagram plug?
Please, John. Oh yeah, at Johnny Bones.
Yes, sir, at Johnny Bones. And the really cool thing is I have a really good videographer and photographer here with me.
Okay.
And these guys have been collecting all types of gold behind-the-scene footage of myself and Holly Holm, who's going to be the co-main event.
Okay.
So if you guys are interested, leading into Saturday night, with some of the behind-the-scenes footage stuff and photos, please follow me on Instagram at Johnny Bones.
See,
JONNYBONES.
There you go. And we already Instagram stuff out for this too. So give us a little regram or whatever you want to do, and
I got you.
We're all off and run here, and we've had Holly here. I mean, again, you've got to come here, John. It's that simple.
Isn't she amazing?
She is.
Yeah, make sure you guys tag me on Instagram, and I'll like tag you back, and let's promote each other, man.
Look at this.
Great.
We're like BFFs.
That's what it's all about.
There you go. All right, John. Thanks for the call. We'll chat soon.
Yes, sir.
You got
Later,
it.
guys.
You got that's John Jones.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download The Rich Eisen Show app.